Hello and welcome to Writing America, Pages and People. If you're here to learn about an American author and some of their works, then you're in the right place. My name is Rachel Rigolino and I'm an instructor in the English department at the State University of New York at New Paltz. So come on, we'll watch this video and leave some comments below.
This lecture takes a brief look at Ambrose Bierce, one of America's really most intriguing literary figures. His story is, I think, both fascinating and, like his literature, a bit eerie. He was known, I would say, for his satire, his kind of biting wit, and his mysterious disappearance at the end of his life, which I'll get to in just a minute. So Ambrose Bierce was born in 1842, before the Civil War, in rural Ohio. Now, growing up, his life, family life was pretty complicated. I'm not going to get into that, but he had strict parents, a lot of siblings, and it really helped him develop a kind of skepticism towards humanity that later comes through in his work. When he was 19, Bierce enlisted in the Union Army during the Civil War, and these experiences really shaped his later life. He experienced some brutal battles firsthand, including the infamous Battle of Shiloh. And these wartime horrors really shaped his dark and cynical view of life. I mean, that's more or less what critics have come to say about those experiences. After the Civil War, Bierce moved to San Francisco and he became a journalist. He quickly earned a reputation as being a ruthless critic, and he was famously dubbed by his colleagues and readers as, quote, bitter Bierce. And, you know, he had a knack for uncovering uncomfortable truths. His journalism was fearless, and his satire, it really did not spare anyone, not politicians, not the wealthy elite, and apparently not even other writers as well. Now, one of his most famous works of satire is The Devil's Dictionary, and you may have seen, read it, or read some entries from it. It's a collection of cynical, often funny definitions that poked fun. Nothing was left to be sacred. He poked fun at politics, religion, romantic love, and, of course, human nature. Originally it was published in installments and then later collected into a book, and he just redefines common words in ways that are funny, but they're also unsettling. As a writer, as you would expect, Bierce was notably influenced by Edgar Allan Poe, whose dark tales and themes of horror and psychological suspense left a really significant mark on his storytelling style. Bierce admires Poe's ability to weave these kind of unsettling narratives, like the way he explored the macabre and looked at the complexities of human psychology. So it should be pointed out, of course, that Bierce was not just a journalist. He's best known, in fact, today for his short stories, in particular, An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, which, once you read it, you'll see it's a masterpiece of psychological realism and suspense. Now, speaking of mysteries, Ambrose Bierce's life ended on a really puzzling note. When he was 71, if you can imagine this, in 1913, Bierce decided to head down to Mexico, apparently to observe the Mexican Revolution. And in a final letter, he casually signed off with, quote, "As to me, I leave here tomorrow for an unknown destination." And then, well, he vanished. And you can see from this headline, you know, no trace was ever found. And there was endless speculation, as in this newspaper, Did Bierce die in battle? Was he executed? Or did he simply, like some people, just wander off into legend? And it's still being explored today, what happened to Ambrose Bierce. So, just to sum up, his literary influence is huge. He had a sharp style, this psychological depth, and it paved the way for countless American writers. And I would say, we look at who did he inspire. So really, Ernest Hemingway references him as an influence. And of course, people like H.P. Lovecraft, but even Stephen King. So many people have said that Bierce practically invented the modern psychological horror and dark satire, in American literature. So while we probably will never know exactly what happened to him at the end of his life, his powerful words and gripping storytelling really continue to live on. So I hope you enjoy the story in this module by Bierce.